Keto and crime, keto and crime. We uncover the grime on keto and crime. Keto and crime, keto and crime. Now is the time for keto and crime.
Hey everyone, Tracy here from Keto and Crime. Thank you so much to every single one of my patrons and channel members. You make this possible. And you're one of the reasons I do this. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if I haven't said it before, thank you. I'll sing it. Thank you. Thank you for hanging in there with me and letting me geek out, not making fun of me like a lot of other people do, because I like weird stuff about crime and dark history. Thanks, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Keto and Crime. I just wanted to put out a quick video before my scheduled live stream this Tuesday, the 27th. We're going to be discussing the Idaho 4 murders. I will be going into it a lot more in depth then, but I just wanted to put out a little video kind of recapping what we know at this time in preparation for that video. Now, if you're unaware, this is referencing to the 4 University of Idaho students murdered, stabbed to death in their home. Well, 3 of them's home. 3 of them's home. The 4th one was Moscow in a 6-room student housing complex in Moscow, Idaho, home of the University of Idaho. This occurred, most people believe, between 3 and 4 a.m. on November 13th. It was a Saturday night into a Sunday. So basically 4 students stabbed to death. It was reported by one of the other roommates, the 2 surviving roommates, about 11 a.m. that Sunday morning on November 13th. We do know that the other 2 roommates have been cleared, but the victims, Ethan Chapin of Conway, Washington, he was 20. Madison Mogen, 21, of Idaho, because I will never say her hometown correctly, please forgive me. Xana Kernodle, 20, of Arizona, and Kaylee Goncalves, 21, also of Idaho. Mogen, Kernodle, Goncalves lived in the 6-bedroom home. Chapin was dating Kernodle, was staying the night. So it was essentially all females that lived in the house, and Chapin was staying over. This happened on the 2nd and 3rd floor of the apartment complex, and as I said, was reported by 2 surviving roommates who have been cleared as persons of interest at this time. That Saturday, November 12th, we do know that Kaylee Goncalves posted a very well-known Instagram post featuring most of the victims in it. We do know that. Later that night, 2 of the girls, Mogen and Goncalves, hung out at the Corner Club, located at 202 North Main Street in Moscow, while Chapin and Kernodle, who I said were dating, and he was staying over, went to a party together at the University of Idaho's chapter of Sigma Chi. And if you are in Greek life, I've never really been associated with that, so if I mispronounce or misspeak on anything, please forgive me. But that is where they were all 4 last seen out in mass, so to speak. Then, early on the morning of November 13th, 1:41 a.m., Mogen and Goncalves were seen on a Twitch live stream at the Grub Truck, a famous food truck that services the club area of Moscow, Idaho. There was a mysterious man in a hoodie who appeared to be with the girls, and then is seen after somebody kind of tells him, hey, they've gone, takes off after them. What we know at this point is that that man has been cleared of being a suspect or a person of interest. Now, as we know, there's a lot of theories associated with these murders. People have been accused, YouTubers have faked audio, and there have been just a whole lot of speculation on who did what, who was who, and the young man in the hoodie has been a target of some of that. But as of right now, he has been cleared as a suspect. According to a sorority driving service, they were actually dropped off back at their home at 1:56 a.m., just about 15 minutes after the Twitch live stream, which that makes sense because you see them, they run off, most likely they got into their ride and went home. Chapin and Kernodle returned, and again, if I'm mispronouncing these names, please forgive me. I'm new at reporting on this case. I've been following it, but I haven't done any videos on it. They returned home from Sigma Chi at 1:45 a.m. The two surviving female roommates were noted to return about 45 minutes prior to that at 1, and they didn't wake up until late the next morning, where they reported one of the roommates that would not wake up had passed out. That was the initial 911 call. Also, the person that has been the target of online speculation is Jack DeCoeur. He is the ex-boyfriend of Kaylee Goncalves. They, in fact, had a dog together that they still co-own. The dog was released into Jack's custody after the initial investigation and whatnot. She was noted to have called him about 7 times between 2:26 and 2:44 a.m. Also, he has been targeted as a potential suspect. He has been cleared by local authorities as of this time. And what we do know is that the 4 of them were stabbed to death by a military-grade knife between 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. on the second and third floors of the home. That murder weapon has not been recovered. 11:58, that 911 call came in from the 2 surviving roommates who were evidently at home at the time of the murders, and reported them as one of the roommates was passed out. Then at 2 p.m., Moscow, Idaho police notified the university and students of the homicide and told them to shelter in place. Many students did elect to return home, and classes were finished for the semester in many cases online or otherwise suspended. Has this been a smooth investigation? Absolutely not. This is not the type of case that ever warrants a smooth investigation. This is like the Vallow Daybell. This is like the O.J. Simpson trial. A lot of mistakes have been made. On Monday, November 14th, the mayor of Moscow, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, Art Betchy, told him he believes the slayings were a crime of passion. Those were later dismissed, saying that there was one of several potential motives in this case. I believe he said that to kind of allude that perhaps this wasn't a serial killer or a mass murderer, that this was just a crime of passion that went wrong, probably to calm the nerves of the town. Because you got to remember, the university closes down, like most college towns, the town dries up. So they saw, their revenue. It's sad, but it's true. You see, the lifeblood of your town closing up essentially a month early because of something like this. You want to do what you can to assuage the fears. And it could have been a crime of passion. It is one of many, many potential motives that are being flung around. There was a lot of backlash from the community on the police about this, about how it was handled and how it was presented to the university, again, along those same lines. Thursday, November 17th, coroner releases the autopsy findings that they were officially ruled homicide by stabbings in a press release. And from there, the theory started. According to the police, at least a dozen to 100 tips come in per day on this particular crime. Some good, some not good, some absolutely made up, because this is another one of those cases that captures the public persona, and you have all kinds of internet sleuths trying to solve the case. There is nothing wrong with putting forth the theory, but when you go so far as to create evidence, falsely use evidence like a certain YouTuber has done, and to just exploit victims and people that have been pointed, and there's plenty of podcasts and YouTube channels doing that right now, which is why I've not gotten involved in this case, because the Daybell case and others, it has the potential to make you into something you don't want to be. So I'm trying to stick to the facts. Lots of tips, some good, some bad. There was a potential rumor of a skinned dog that might have been associated with the crime. An Australian shepherd was found about 3 weeks prior to the murders, skinned and filleted. According to police, that has been debunked, that they were not part of it. In fact, the little dog, the one that was shared by Goncalves and her ex-boyfriend Murphy, was still inside the home and was found alive and surrendered over to her ex-boyfriend after the case. So this was not a dog killer. We still don't know the motives. There's been speculation that Kaylee Goncalves had a stalker. There was evidently someone that was following her at one time. This has been ruled so far as an isolated incident. Again, a lot of the stuff you hear online is rumor, speculation, conspiracy theory. And I know here lately some conspiracy theory has, proven to be true. But when it comes to this case, so far, no. We do not have the proven identity of a stalker that may be associated with this case. On Friday, November 25th, a double stabbing in Pullman, Washington that took place in 1999 and a double stabbing in Salem, Oregon were also parlay connected to this case. Police have said that is not the case. Again, internet sleuths, amateur detectives trying to put forth a theory. The truth is, this case is still unsolved. It may remain unsolved. It may go cold. There was a recent, just in the last 24 hours, if you're watching this on the date it was uploaded, of a white Hyundai that was supposedly seen on gas station video the night, speeding away, was found crashed, and it has been proven that that crash car was not the car that potentially could have been connected to this crime. So it's just all over the place. It's hard to know what to believe. Police have since towed the vehicles away from the house and have allowed police to remove belongings of the victims to be sent home to their families. And so that's what we know. We do know that the parents have been very, very outspoken about, especially one certain father who I think is great, pointing out the misgivings of the local police. And that is Steve Goncalves, father of Kaylee. He's been quite outspoken about how he was frustrated at the way the investigation was being handled, just the overall lack of transparency. So, yeah. And then most recently, of course, the white Hyundai Elantra, and then the crashed car that was not, related. And that's kind of what we are, where we are, what we know. There is no concrete evidence so far in this case that I can find that would point to any one suspect. It's still speculation. And if you are the type that is listening to a lot of the online theories, okay, that's fine. There's lots of stuff on Reddit boards, neighbors giving, I live next to them, ask me anything on Reddit. There's psychics, which I think is absolute bullshit. Anyway, putting forth theories like they do in every crime. So, yeah, nothing concrete. That I've given you what we know to be the facts, and I'm going to be discussing this with you live Tuesday evening at the 27th as an after Christmas treat. And I really, really love you all. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. The holiday season has been rough because my clients and my day job have really ramped up. And so I've literally been working myself to the bone there and have not had as much time to put forth on the YouTube channel as I would like. I promise that will be corrected in the new year. So I appreciate you hanging in there with me. And I am intrigued by this case just like everyone else is, and I will be doing more on it. But I didn't want to just jump on it and add to the confusion about it. I wanted to give you facts, as I always like to do. And so with that being said, if I don't see you again, have a wonderful, wonderful Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is you celebrate. Have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. I love you all. And until next time, Keto and Cry.